Today is the 24th Sunday in Ordinary Time. We read the Gospel of Matthew. The Gospel of Matthew was put into its final, inspired format perhaps around the year 85 AD. This Gospel frequently uses numbers, especially 3 and 7. Like a good teacher, Matthew made it easy for his students to read and to remember. The lesson of today's Gospel is that God has been kind and forgiving to each of us, so we should be endlessly forgiving to others. From the Holy Gospel according to Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 to 35. Peter came up and asked Jesus, "Lord, when my brother wrongs me, how often must I forgive him? 7 times?" "No," Jesus replied, "not 7 times I say, 70 times 7 times. That is why the reign of God may be said to be like a king who decided to settle accounts with his officials. When he began his auditing, one was brought in who owed him a huge amount, as he had no way of paying it. His master ordered him to be sold along with his wife, his children, and all his property, in payment of the debt. At that the official prostrated himself in homage and said, "My lord, be patient with me, and I will pay you back in full." Moved with pity, the master let the official go and wrote off the debt. But when that same official went out, he met a fellow servant who owed him a mere fraction of what he himself owed. He seized him and throttled him. "Pay back what you owe," he demanded. His fellow servant dropped to his knees and began to plead with him. "Just give me time and I will pay you back in full." But he would hear none of it. Instead, he had him put in jail until he paid back what he owed. When his fellow servants saw what happened, they were badly shaken and went to their master to report the whole incident. His master sent for him and said, "You worthless wretch, I canceled your entire debt when you pleaded with me. Should you not have dealt mercifully with your fellow servant as I dealt with you?" Then in anger the master handed him over to the torturers until he paid back all that he owed. My heavenly Father will treat you in exactly the same way, unless each of you forgives his brother from his heart. Please like and subscribe.